What's up, guys? Shay Stevens here, PDGA number 77522, and today I'm here with the review you guys voted for, the Axiom Neutron Tempo. Let's get to it. Before we get to the video, please click that like button if you're enjoying the content. If you find yourself coming back often, make sure you're subscribed and click that notification bell. It really helps me out, and I try to post videos at least once a week. As always, thank you all for the support. So fans have been waiting very eagerly for the release of the Tempo ever since we saw the notification for the PDGA approval. The Tempo is a overstable putter, and it's going to be joining the ranks of the Entropy and the Stabilizer as the overstable putter for the Axiom line. The flight numbers for the Tempo are speed of 4, glide of 4, turn of 0, and a fade of 2.5. So this disc is pretty significant. First off, it's the return of the 4 speeds. During MVP's mold massacre of 2019, we saw all the 4-speed molds be retired. So we lost the Tensor, Tangent, Alias, and Theory. The Theory hurt particularly. That was an understable mid-range. But now we finally have a 4-speed again. There's a group of people who say 5-speed mids don't fit their hands really well, and they prefer 4 speeds. So we have a return of 4 speeds, which is really cool. But when I saw those flight numbers, I definitely had some deja vu. I've seen these before, right? So my initial thought was, did they just remake the Tensor? And honestly, based on feel, I was sitting here spinning my, spinning the disc around, just getting a grip of it when I first got it. Does feel kind of Tensor-esque. I'm just saying. I threw the Tensor for a bit. One of the flaws, though, in the older molds was, basically MVP said their overmold technology was more, effective in higher speed discs, wider rim drivers, and as the discs got slower, the rims got smaller. The impact of the overmold was pretty minimal. However, when they brought production in-house, that allowed them to experiment more in a more efficient and timely manner. And they said basically the mold massacre of 2019, either the discs weren't performing well or they were deemed obsolete, or they couldn't fit the new molding machines. So my theory is that the 4 speeds, weren't really getting that much gyro impact. So with the new process, they were able to essentially remake old discs possibly and actually have gyro effects. One of the flaws, the Tensor, was built as a 0, 2.5, an overstable mid-range. It was not overstable. That thing just flew dead straight. And honestly, I was flipping it over pretty easily. So during those dark days of no overstability at low speeds for MVP, I was throwing like an MD4 just because I needed an overstable-ish mid-range. And the Tensor was not doing it for me. We didn't have the deflector or pyro at the time or the runway. So that's... I did bag the Tensor for a while. I had a friend who loved them, though, so I sold all mine to him. So I don't have one to compare, unfortunately. But I do have some side-by-sides, so let's take a look at those. Up first, we have the Tempo on the right up against a 2022 MVP Open Plasma Entropy. So on the left, you can notice the Entropy's parting line a little bit higher. Also notice the downslope from the nose to the base of the disc. It's pretty much a straight line for the Tempo. Compared to the Entropy, it has that little bit of concave, which, again, creates more drag, creates more fade. So this jives that the Entropy is going to have a little bit more fade. I believe that is a fade of 3 compared to a 2.5 on the Tempo. You will notice, though, that the Entropy is a little taller. The Tempo is very flat top, actually, and a little sleeker. So if you feel like the Entropy is a little too deep dish for you, the Tempo might be just what you want. And this comparison was requested a lot on the MVP fan page. Tempo on the right up against Neutron Matrix on the left. You'll notice the nose on the Tempo higher, so more overstable. And you'll also notice the slope from the nose to the bottom of the disc on the Matrix is a lot more gradual. That means air is going to pass much more easily under this with less resistance, so not as much drag and fade. And I definitely agree. The Tempo is not a Matrix, guys. The Tempo does not want to flip as easy as a Matrix. I feel like it doesn't. It has a good amount of glide, but not as much as a Matrix. So don't worry. This is not a 4-speed Matrix. I really believe, I think it's honestly the rebirth of the Tensor as it was meant to be. Because you're going to see in these flights, the overstability of the Tempo is nothing like what the Tensor had. Now for the part you guys care about, the field testing. Before we get to the field, though, just 2 notes. One, the wind. I had a really respectable tailwind coming from right to left over my shoulder, so take that into consideration. Anheuser's were very difficult this day. Just trying to, if the minute turn the disc over, the wind just wanted to slam it down. So that was tricky. And it is overall going to stable the disc up a little bit more than usual. So take that into consideration, as well as the weights on these discs. 173 gram, 174 gram, so 1 gram difference. So not a drastic difference. So they fly pretty much identical. So let's get out to the field and see how they fly. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, yeah. Love it. I think the tempo is going to fill a very critical gap in a lot of players' bags. For your slower arm speeds, it's your overstable putter. If the entropy didn't feel good for you and the stabilizer didn't work out, here's a third option for you. Very different hand feel. For your faster arm speeds, it's an NVOS, I'll be honest with you guys. Everyone's always hunting the most overstable NVs, the soft neutrons, the Eclipse. This is an overstable NV to me. It's really, it feels good. It feels like a tensor to me, but it delivers the overstability the tensor failed to. So I love that I can just hit this nice and flat, and no, it's going to push straight and then dump really well and get some really good distance out of it too. I was very impressed by the glide. Despite being flat top, it actually did carry very well. I really like that. Forehand was really crisp. I enjoyed that a lot. Again, that flat top really just fits really well in the hand. Didn't get much wobble out of it at all. Could get a really good snap on it. It handled the torque perfectly. So, yeah, if you guys are hunting for like the NVOS or the most overstable NV, here's your disc. For now, it's going straight in my practice bag. I'm going to play around with it probably in about 40 minutes. Really excited, and it has an incredibly high chance of making my main bag. So don't be surprised to see the tempo in my bag in some coming videos, because I feel like it's earning the spot. I'll probably knock an NV out of my bag and replace it with this. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. Thank you, MVP, for sending me these testers, and I will be definitely getting a lot of use out of them. One final note, guys, do remember, the only way to get a tempo is as part of the 2023 MVP Circuit Challenge Player Pack. So head over to the MVP Circuit Events page, look up on Disc Golf Scene to see if there's an event near you that you can sign up for. And if there isn't one, run one yourself. It is incredibly easy. It is a tournament in a box. I am not joking. MVP sends you a bunch of stuff to make the tournament a success. And on top of that, it's a great fundraiser for your club. You want to get some new baskets, new tee pads, whatever. You can help put some money toward that cause. Heck, if you want, it can be a fundraiser for yourself. Everyone always says, I want more money to buy discs. You can build up your disc fund by running a circuit event, and then you have your money to spend on discs for the rest of the year. Not a bad deal, right? So definitely check it out. Again, thank you to MVP for sending me these. Really enjoying it. Can't wait to throw it more. I'm going to be throwing it very soon. And again, that's been my review of the Axiom Neutron Tempo. If you have any questions for me, reach out. I'll do my best to answer them. Take care. Thank you to my sponsors. For all your disc golf needs, check out Phoenix Discs and Foundation Disc Golf.